Thanks for watching and listening on YouTube. If you don't feel like watching us or listening to us on YouTube, you can always go to Spotify or iHeartRadio or any other podcast platform that you would like to hear or listen to us on. Give us a like, give us a follow, and thanks for listening.
And for all the support. Comment down below.
Hang on. I got something for you.
I'm hanging on.
Oh, no.
I'm hanging.
Gemini generated.
I'm pretty fat, so I can only hang on
Yeah.
for so long. My grip is starting to slip, Vandy.
Do you have a second one? Why do you have a...
Help.
Oh, you made a video.
Whoa.
I asked to make it into a GIF, and this is what I got.
Had you seen it already?
No.
So you didn't know what to expect?
No. I was like, this will be great.
No, it's not great.
What is that?
It's not great. I should use that for the intro. As we're giving our books and shows like
So
the
bad.
name. And then it just...
I can genuinely say, after everything I've seen on this planet, I have never seen that in my life. What is that floating around them?
I don't know.
I hate it.
Is that bobbers?
It is.
What is this?
You have to give me this. I will put this somewhere in the video because it's awful.
It's Max Headroom.
It's not. No, it's almost,
man.
it almost looks like a bad CGI of John Cena, the face.
That is
In that frame you paused on anyway. Well, you figure that out. I also might want to complain about real fast. I saw
I hate seeing.
yeah, me too. I saw a post the other day, and I don't know if it was AI bot entirely or if it was actually someone who posted it, but the image was 100% AI. And if it was a person who posted it, makes me hate it even more because that means you're clearly lying. Because they're like, this happened to me today and I took a picture. And the picture was a big truck parking clearly
Vroom, vroom.
in the middle between two small parking spots, taking up two spots.
Beep, beep.
Okay, innocent enough. That happens and you get annoyed. But the truck had someone wrote on the back of the truck complaining about them taking up two spots. And then the truck person had poster board that he duct taped to the back saying, I didn't want to ding up the paint job, jerk. And then had a bumper sticker that said, I am a jerk.
Whoa.
I'm censoring a little bit and wasn't the word jerk.
Whoa.
But the more you look at it and the more you think about it, the worse it becomes because, first of all, visually it was terrible. The parking spots were like blocking where driving would be. So it was like traffic would be coming this way, and then there's just parking spots here. On the left, there's nowhere to drive. It's just parking spots. So it's like if you're in the middle, you can't leave because you can't go forward, you can't go backward, you can't go left, you can't go right.
So it's obviously AI.
All of the people walking from the store have empty shopping carts. So it's like, and they're walking away from the store, not toward it. But then like also just stop and think about it. Just stop and think. Someone complained about the vehicle and chose to ride on it with marker, which could happen, but it's already weird. But the dude sees it, and when he's leaving and his response is, let me go inside, let me get poster board, let me come back, let me write a note on my truck and poster board and duct tape it, and now I'm going to go back in. Like
it's only the person that created the image only made it to create rage bait.
It's like, that just does not make sense. It does not make sense. But like almost all the comments were believing it. They're like, this happens to me all the time and it makes me so mad.
That's even more scary.
Or like they're like just it's like no. This is, and then but some people were pointing out that it was AI, of course, because even some of the words were like going on top of the duct tape, and other people were like, "Dude's worried about his paint job, but then puts duct tape right on top of it."
That's poor. No, I can't say that.
It's all about It's all about creating
Freedom of expression, boy.
rage bait in the comments.
Yes.
To amp up your own profile.
Yes,
so
and I almost commented too, and that's
right.
exactly what I thought about. I was like,
Yep.
you know what? No, I'm not going to. This only rewards you.
I do that all the time. I was about to start making comments.
You rage bait all the time?
Yeah,
in
he
the
does.
comments, yes. I
But
love doing it.
You should do it in our comments.
especially if I make a valid point on a comment, and then somebody's like, "Well, that's stupid, you stupid."
What I like to do is when
And I just start
someone
rage baiting.
when someone is overly condescending and they're clearly wrong, I like to match their energy, and so I do what they did back to them
Yeah,
because I'm just like,
I'm
no,
over it.
you're an idiot, so I'm going to be an idiot to you.
The thing is, now bot accounts are starting to get more.
Yeah. Now it's like
They're starting to get smarter.
So you
on the
guys are arguing with bots?
There's
on
a
their
good
profiles.
chance.
You don't know if you are or not, because on the profiles, they actually start posting pictures on their profile. Not a lot, but like maybe
just
10.
just enough to feel real.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. The thing is, if it's a bot that's posting this, like the entirety of it, not just the image, but the whole, this happened to me today, that's one thing. It's already annoying because like this isn't even real, and everyone's up like talking about it, even though most likely a third of who's talking about it is also not real. Beside the point. But if it's a real person who's like, I'm going to come up with this scenario in my head, I'm going to fake this picture and say, look what happened to me. And like, oh, you're the worst.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
Did
Get
they
out of
actually
here.
put up a story in the?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It was a whole story about like, this is what happened to me. And like, they were complaining
Yeah,
about it. Saying,
that's terrible.
and then, like I said, they also had the bumper sticker that said, I am the jerk. And people were like, it's so ironic that that's the bumper sticker he had. And it's like, because it's not real.
I pray
it's not
that those
real.
are bots that are.
You got to understand, these are old people on social media. They can't tell AI from real life.
It's so bad. Anyway.
Mark still turns around to this day and is like, is this AI?
Mark.
And it's like a giraffe parasailing.
True. I thought,
No.
I thought you were talking about Zuckerberg and you were just on a first name basis.
If you're ever visiting Ireland and you hear a woman scream, beware, your time might come.
Someone once took over a TV station Signal and went live to thousands of his viewers just to call Chuck Swirsky a liberal. Then they vanished without a trace.
A teenage boy claimed something was tormenting him at night. And then the scratches showed up, and then the sounds, and then the men of faith. Have you guys seen that dark energy is going away?
No.
You know how we have like dark matter in the
Yo,
universe?
I haven't seen that's going away.
There's so you know how let me preface this. Scientists say the Big Bang happened and now the universe is expanding.
Dark energy is like the force behind all that.
Yeah.
And it's slowing down. So they're saying, I guess that makes sense. I've heard it's slowing down. So they're saying it's slowing down because dark energy is going away.
Yeah.
Your mom's going away.
So
Sorry, I don't know how else to tell you.
That's not how energy works.
that's how your mom works.
Oh my God.
We haven't even done our welcome yet.
Oh man.
Welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Testament. I'm still Vandy. That's still Andrew.
I'm still me.
And that's still Jeremy. We're still stuck in a four-sided room.
Don't argue with me in the comments because
Yeah.
it'll make you feel bad.
Shout out
No
that one
comment.
guy.
No comment.
I was just messing. I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. I just think it's funny.
If you like the sound of Andrew's voice, give us a comment down below.
True. If Andrew's your favorite, tell us. If Vandy's your favorite, tell us.
Nobody
No.
cares about Vandy.
I'm already married.
True.
So is Victoria.
So is Victoria. True.
Should we do a roll call where we say
Present.
No, like roll call.
Shabuya.
tell us where you're from.
Shabuya. Roll call.
Don't give us address,
No,
but like state.
no. We're not there yet.
Okay. Don't tell us where you're from. Oh my. But weird day today. Right now there's high winds.
Yep.
I have my neighbor's tarp in my backyard. It's probably gone by
Nice.
now.
Like it flew over there, or y'all just were borrowing it?
No, it flew.
We have this tarp in our backyard. We're just borrowing.
I stole it and I blamed it on the wind blowing it over there.
Sounds good.
No, it's probably going to be down in the woods by the time I get home.
Trampolines are going to be in trees.
Yeah, we might have tornadoes. It's a possibility.
Yeah, tonight while everyone's asleep.
Yeah, I've seen a few videos, Kansas and I think Minnesota or Wisconsin, something like that.
Wisconsin.
Past couple days.
Yeah, it's coming our way. That's what all this wind hubbub is about.
Yeah, I saw radar look into it, and it looks rough.
Yeah, that's
looks real rough.
That's
70-mile gusts in some places around here.
yeah, and coming back with the SD card, there was the
Were you driving sideways?
the headlight, or not the headlight, the traffic light was flipping
Sideways,
up.
yeah.
It was hard to see what it was.
Do I go? How much did you pay for your matcha, Andrew?
I don't even know. I was blindsided.
Are you afraid to
He
look?
said, I heard 6, and then I couldn't
7.
think of everything.
I heard 6, and the first thought I had was 7.
No, I think he said it was 670, but
See?
it wasn't.
He did tell me that earlier.
It was like 676 or something.
1776.
Good year.
Great year.
How much did you spend on your cinnamon protein?
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon protein.
Yeah.
What cinnamon protein? Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. I was actually reading through the comments on YouTube. and
Wow.
He's getting an ego boost.
Andrew doesn't care about us. He cares about...
We make the YouTube comments.
I almost said the commenter. He cares about the comments and the fame.
No, because you mentioned the "don't come at me in the comments" thing, and I was reading that. Hadn't read that.
In that guy's defense, he didn't know who you were.
Yeah, I know.
You blindsided him.
I did.
But the fact that he believed you so quick too, though.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. I was expecting to be like,
He was fighting you for you.
true, he was. He was. But now I
Don't
know
you
what
say
he really
that.
thinks. He thinks I have a weak personality. So
Anyway,
considering we have stuff to do after this and we want to get done before the storm, we're taking forever to get started.
Yeah, Andrew, you threw us a curveball because I wanted to talk about a demon, and then you wanted to talk about a demon. So we have no history lesson. Well, Jeremy's is kind of.
Mine is the history, yes.
yeah.
All right, take it away, demon boy. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
So
That was the fakest laugh ever.
That was the kind of laugh he
Yeah.
gave. It was just...
all right. Well,
As the kids say, gang, gang.
I'm going to talk about the Banshee today. Do you know the Banshee Man? The Banshee Man? The Banshee Man?
No.
This is going to be another clip on here.
So, the Banshee. The Banshee.
Yes,
The Banshee.
the Banshee. Have you heard about the Banshee?
The Banshee.
I've heard of him.
The Banshee is a woman.
Banshee from voting.
I'm
Am I
glad
right?
you're doing this because, well,
I'm talking like how a lot of politicians talk, and more specifically, one politician that I'm thinking of.
my fellow
Not to get
Americans.
political. No, not him.
Oh,
The Banshee. It's part of the Irish folklore.
we get the best Banshees.
The best Gaelic banshees.
The best. Quite really.
The Banshee.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So the Banshee.
She's the meaning is the woman of the fairy mound. Woman
The
of,
fairy mound.
yeah.
That's
Or-
a lot of words.
or the
for
fairy woman.
such
She's
a
part-
small word.
She's a part of the Fae. She's a collection
Okay.
of the Fae.
Huh. I actually did not know Banshee were fae.
Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't know by looking at them.
In Spanish, fea is ugly.
Well, makes sense. So the Banshee is one of the most iconic figures in Irish folklore, of course, and she is a female spirit who acts as a harbinger of death, announcing an impending death in a specific family by wailing, shrieking, screaming, or taking a knee.
Taking a knee.
Yeah, taking a knee. Down on one knee and
Okay, Tim Tebow.
or I mean, I can't read. I can't read. I read this before.
Giving a knee.
I read this before, and I read it the same way as a knee, but it's not knee.
What is
No,
it?
it's not.
It's keening. Keening.
What is
Which
that
is
mean?
it's a traditional form of mourning and lamentation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm actually going to read a story instead of explaining the majority of the background and going into it a little bit.
All right. Learn me something.
Is it a true story? Or a supposedly true story at the very least?
No.
Oh,
No, I could have I might talk about one more specifically that I do remember offhand. I won't get the details correct. But I'm just going to read the story.
Okay.
Hang in with me with my reading impairment, ladies and gentlemen.
Boys and girls. Dogs and cats.
But not birds, because you're not real.
Fish and birds.
Nope.
The
Bird.
Mammal King.
Birds.
Why
and
was the
lizards.
Mammal King a beaver out of all mammals?
Bro.
You know-
It's such a stupid. Okay, I'm not getting into it.
Pond
Hold
rules.
on. But I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the hoopers or whatever.
Yeah.
Hoppers. See, I kept saying
Hoppers.
that too, bro.
Everyone knows the true mammal king should be the platypus.
Yeah,
No.
that makes sense though.
Because it's
No.
everything.
Yeah,
No.
Because it's just everything.
it should be the king of all the animals.
I did like that some animals died.
Anyway,
All right, I imagine you're gonna probably edit a lot of this out.
I'm going to keep a good chunk in.
Okay.
All right, let's listen to the
So the
story,
title-
boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats.
The
Cats and
title-
dogs.
The title.
The tidal wave.
The title of the story is "The Whale Over Dunmore."
The whale.
I understand
Not as in a-
sharks, but
Not as in a
whales?
whale, as in WHALE,
Oh,
Oh, like a whaling.
but WAIL.
Yeah.
The whale, the scream.
the well, like you get water out of.
Yeah. Long ago, in the shadows of the ancient hills,
Not saying anything.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Me neither.
long ago, in the shadow of the ancient hills of County Clare, there stood a weathered stone tower house belonging to the O'Grady clan. The O'Gradys were an old family, and their blood tracing back through centuries to the warriors of the old kings, and for as many generations they had their own being. That took me for a loop. Their own Banshee or Banshee bound to their line. She was no stranger to them. Her cry had announced the passing of chieftains, sons lost in battle, and even the quiet fading of the old woman by the hearth. Yet she was never cruel, only sorrowful, as though the grief she carried was heavier than any mortal could bear. This is stupid. It says in the autumn of 17 dash. It doesn't even give the
1700.
So it doesn't even give a date. It just says 17 dash instead of a year. In the autumn, when the leaves turned the color of old bronze and the wind carried the scent of turf smoke, young Cormac O'Grady rode home from Galway Fair. He was strong and laughing, full of stories of fine horses and Peter
girls.
Wow. He was strong and laughing, full of stories of fine horses and prettier girls, and the house rang with his return. His mother, Eileen, lit extra candles that night, and his father, old Thomas, poured whiskey for the neighbors who came to hear the tales. But as the moon rose, pale and full over the boglands, a sound began, soft at first, like a woman singing low to a sleeping child. Then it grew. A keening that rose and fell, threading through the cracks in the stone walls, wrapping around the hearts of those inside the cold fingers. Eileen froze by the fire. It's her, she whispered. The Banshee has come. Thomas crossed himself and went to the door, peering into the dark. There by the ancient yew tree at the gate, its branches twisted like praying hands, stood a figure. She was small and slight, cloaked in gray that blended with the mist. Her hair long and silver as the moonlight on water streamed unbound, and she combed it slowly with a bone comb that gleamed unnaturally white. Her face was hidden in the shadow, but her eyes, red-rimmed from endless weeping, caught the candlelight from the windows. The keening swelled until it seemed the very air vibrated with sorrow. Cormac stepped aside, bold as youth, and called out, "What do you want with us, woman of the mounds? Speak plain." The figure paused. The comb stopped, mid-stroke. For a moment there was silence so deep it hurt the ears. Then she lifted her head, and her voice came, not loud, but clear as a bell across the still water. "I come not to harm, Cormac Mac Thomas," she said. I said that weird. I'm going to reread that.
Cormac Mac.
"I come not to harm, Cormac Mac Thomas," she said, "but to warn. The thread of your life is thinning before the next full moon wanes. Death will call for one of this house. Prepare your soul and bid farewell to what you love." Cormac laughed, though the sound rang hollow. "I've faced worse than omens on the road to Galloway. If death wants me, let him come himself." The Banshee only shook her head sadly and turned away, fading into the mist like smoke. The keening faded with her, leaving only the wind and the hoot of an owl.
Hoot hoot. Sorry.
I had to.
Hey, you made it to top 5 in Tennessee.
The family tried to forget. They barred the windows, and they barred the doors tighter. Wow, I read that wrong. They barred the doors tighter, said extra prayers, and kept the fire burning high. But on the night before Samhain, when the veil between worlds grows thin, Cormac rode out alone to check the cattle in the far field. A sudden storm rose, black clouds swallowing the stars and lightning split the sky. They found him at dawn, lying beneath the same yew tree, his horse gone mad and fled. No wound marked him, no sign of struggle. Only his face bore an expression of terrible wonder, as though he had seen something beyond mortal sight in his final moment. The Banshee was not seen again that year, but her cry was heard one last time on the wind night. The Banshee was not seen again that year, but her cry was heard one last time on the wind the night they buried Cormac. Low and mournful, like a mother singing over an empty cradle. And so it was with the O'Grandys. The Banshee never caused the death, but she always knew. She mourned before the world did, carrying the grief across the hills, so the living might have a moment to prepare their hearts. Some say she still walks those same fields on the stormy nights, combing her silver hair beneath the moon, waiting for the next name to be called from the old bloodlines of Ireland.
So nobody's died since then?
To this day, in the west of Ireland, when the wind howls through the ruins and strange cries carry on the night air, old folks still say, "Hush, it's only the Banshee, keening for someone yet to live, keening for someone yet to leave us." That's the story.
And I'm sticking to it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What are those little
Peeps.
maybe? Is it a lynx or a bobcat that has that real high screech? It's like
it's bobcat, bobcats and mountain lions and
Yeah.
lynx. They all kind of do it.
they have that. It sounds like a woman screaming.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Shoot them.
Shoot them.
What if that's what they heard?
I mean,
I don't know if Ireland has those.
call me ignorant. Yeah, call me ignorant.
Ignorant.
Call me ignorant, but I don't
You're ignorant.
I don't think that they have any species of cat native that's not living. They could have had one at one time, and it went extinct because I know the UK in general has been ravaged from its wildlife. With its wildlife, there's been all
Nothing
kinds.
lives there anymore.
Well, there's been all kinds of species that have been extinct.
Yeah. Ireland does not have a native population of wild cats in the modern era, though they did exist prehistorically. And you're right, due to Europeans
Killing them all.
hunting.
Due to the white man killing everything.
Yeah. So the Banshee also has roots in folklore as a old Irish god, and she was defeated along with several other gods, and they were pushed into the hills known as the Sidey Mounds, if that's how you pronounce it. So there's a lot of folklore around her. Instead of death, instead of the Grim Reaper, like we have, they kind of have the Banshee as their folklore.
I don't know if I've ever heard of, maybe I have, but I don't know if I've ever heard of Tale of the Banshee where she's not like bad.
Where she like attacks people?
Yeah,
Or,
like usually it's like kind of like a mix with the siren.
yeah.
Where like lure them out and then they scream and then you die.
You're dead.
Yeah, this some accounts also as far as like where she comes from history wise is of a young woman that died too soon. Either she died violently or she died very young. Either way, and she's doomed to wander around and mourn for those that are going to die.
I probably just know too much of the Americanized version of a banshee.
Could be
Which is it's like a woman that like screams and your head explodes or whatever, and
screaming like a banshee.
like that's typically how it's portrayed.
Yeah, but she's often appears as an old woman with long hair. So I mean, there's multiple different counts. I mean, you have either a young woman, an old woman. I mean, it's just a woman, never a middle-aged woman.
God, could you imagine a Karen banshee?
Ooh.
Her screaming is just, "I'm calling your manager!" And then
Give me your manager.
ah, it's a banshee.
Yeah, but she doesn't cause death, like you said. She doesn't cause death, but she only warns of it. It's an unmistakable omen. Now, in Appalachia, most of the time, if you hear a woman screaming, if it's like a supernatural type woman screaming, not like a
Like a regular woman.
I don't know if never mind. I'm not even gonna say.
Do it. Do it.
No, I'm not even gonna say it.
You're gonna
It's-
edit this anyway.
No, I'm not even gonna say it. It's not worth saying. Just never mind.
Okay. Well, anyway, most of the time, if you hear a woman screaming in Appalachia, it's usually like a skinwalker that's mimicking human voice, trying to lure you into the woods.
Well, they're
So-
not good at it. If they're screaming, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, well, a lot of times they like scream help. They'll stand
Help.
there and sing, "Ow!" It's really weird if you've ever heard it. Like I've
You're
seen a
saying
few videos.
this like you've heard it.
No, I've seen a few videos of
We can-
people supposedly recording a skinwalker.
Oh, you know who listens to this? Aaron. He might know.
Aaron,
Yeah.
cousin Aaron,
Yeah.
he listened to this.
Yeah.
What?
Told him about it. He might know some stories because he lives in the mountains.
Yeah, he lives in southern Appalachia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of Irish immigrated to America.
Oh, yeah.
And the Banshee came with them.
and the Scottish also and their traditions moved and came with them to Appalachia. And a lot of the superstitions, we've talked about this before pretty recently,
Yeah.
but a lot of the superstitions
Transfer.
from their transfer, of course, because why wouldn't they?
Now, I have a theory about a lot of cryptids. I think that in the last days where we are seeing more angels and demons,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are going to see, I don't know if we can capture, maybe, cryptids.
I was going to talk about this too, but there wasn't enough information. There was 6 Bigfoot encounters supposedly like within 4 days in Ohio. That was like one after the other. Boom, 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 boom.
Recently?
Boom. Yeah, recently.
See, this is what I mean. I think that as we get toward the end times and spirits begin revealing themselves, some of these stories that we have, I think that
They're real and
Yeah.
they're just.
Well, that's
the
what
form that they take.
that's one theory is the when it says as in the days of Noah.
Yeah.
Noah had a Bigfoot problem, and now we do.
Well, they speculate because of, this goes into the whole fallen angels aspect and creating the Nephilim and so on and so forth. I don't know about that.
What?
As far as in the days of Noah, like if fallen angels procreate again and create more
Oh,
Nephilim,
I don't.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
That's a long shot.
I do think that there's going to be a lot more things that we are going to see.
With how different cryptids are described, and with how different from pop culture and whatever the angels actually look,
Yeah.
I think it's very, very possible.
Well, on the Bigfoot episode that we did with Tyler and Jessica,
Yep.
I was going into this a little bit. I didn't go too deep into it, but a lot of people do believe. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, okay, but some podcasts that I have listened to, they shared the same opinion as far as cryptids are demons on the edge of a quote Christian bubble. Like if a town's Christian and they have a quote, I say quote a lot, but like a hedge of protection around the city.
Yeah.
Well, you probably won't see any kind of cryptid inside there, but as soon as you walk out of that bubble, then you may see some kind of cryptid because it's a demon manifesting in physical form.
I think it has to do with beliefs.
Yeah.
Just like in the Bible, we've brought this up before. Jesus couldn't do miracles where the unbelief was. I think that it works on both sides, where you can believe in something to the point where, like, if it is a real thing, it'll present itself to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally how people talk to demons.
Well, case in point, around, wow, I'm saying a lot this episode. Around Native American reservations, obviously, they believe in multiple gods, but they do rituals and chants and things like that do attract demonic entities. And that's when you see a lot of cryptids. I mean, that's where you get a lot of sightings of skinwalkers and wendigos, especially in, the like, I know that in Wisconsin there's a reservation. There's a lot of people that see Bigfoot and Wendigo. Wendigo is very popular up there in the north, in Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin. But you got the skinwalkers primarily out west and also in Appalachia. It all has to do with what you're entertaining and the atmosphere that you're creating and what you're inviting.
I think this is 100% just thinking that I do and thoughts, but I think from my understanding and my interpretation of end time events and what happens, what we know more or less and what we don't know, that something has to happen that basically shatters the materialist view, because like you said, things couldn't happen without belief. And in a materialist point of view, some of the stuff with the Antichrist wouldn't really make sense, because it's like he does miracles. He performs signs and wonders.
He's supposed to call fire down from heaven at one point too.
Right.
I think a materialist viewpoint was necessary to etch away Christianity in the West, because we removed ourselves in the West. Christianity basically removed itself from most other religions. So in the past with the Jews, what happened was that they picked up other people's beliefs. Well, we removed all beliefs. So it's like, we're not going to go back to polytheism when we have monotheism and we've kicked out everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that can really counter that is like, okay, well, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Because you get so focused on science and advancement, and I think those things are good, but you get so focused on it and prideful that you become materialist. And obviously you guys know materialist isn't like, I need to own things, but it's that the world is just material. It's not spiritual. So I think we needed to be materialist for certain things to happen to get people's minds off of Christianity. But I think that there's going to be a flip, and we kind of are seeing a flip now.
Yeah,
where people are having a spiritual awakening and being like, "Oh, there's something more." They're not turning to God, but there's something. That's why you have universalism. I don't know what it is, but it's one of these. Or you have even astronomy is even a part of that, and cryptids. So I'm like, I don't know, but I think that there's going to be something that just breaks the materialist perspective to where people will not be atheist, really. They'll move more into this, well, something exists, and then the Antichrist can kind of be like, well, I'll show you what exists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of information to go over. I don't know. I had a thought, and I completely forgot.
I don't remember why I had that thought. It was actually related to something one of y'all said back, and then I kind of waited to say it, and so now it feels very off topic. But
I was going to say something, and I completely forgot it. Vandy, do you have anything to say?
No, other than I think at some point we're gonna get to the end times, if we're not already in them, where it kicks off. And we will be able to capture some of these. And I think that because of when the angels go into Lot, if he had really let them, the men of the Sodom and Gomorrah would have been able to take them and do whatever they want.
I don't know if they would be able to or not.
I mean, he
And-
offered.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying humans were made to be a little lower than the angels. That's what Scripture says.
Just a little.
And in that story, the angels make every single one of those men blind. They completely blind them
Yeah, that's true.
in a snap of a finger. And I believe we talked about this last year, or it was early this year, about the CIA conducting seances
yeah.
and
That was a few
getting
weeks ago.
information from demonic entities themselves.
Well, that's the flip side to what it was, what you were just saying. In the story of Lot, angels clearly were not on board with that. So, so even if Lot offered them, they could have just been like, peace out.
Right.
In this case, if it's demonic spiritual forces, they probably would just be on board, not necessarily because of whatever, but because like it's gonna confusion and
Yeah, and in the CIA, they take that information and turn it into technology. Whatever the technology is, whatever the information is,
it's just demon blood.
sure, make it into a sword and swing it around.
AI is just demon blood. That's why it hallucinates. That's why it's bad.
No, it's a thneed. It's a thneed, which is a Dr. Seuss invention. It's
No,
useless. It's
no.
useless, but everybody wants it and uses it.
No,
It's a trend.
No.
Yes, I agree with it's a thneed. Anyway, I was going to bring it into Sean Ryan.
The
I
skateboarder?
have not. No, the podcaster.
That was,
You don't know who Sean Ryan is?
no. I don't know why my brain went to skateboarder. I have no idea who skateboarders are.
So Sean Ryan, he came out with an episode. I have not listened to it yet. I
He's
don't
very
know.
good.
But he had a Catholic priest on, an exorcist Catholic priest. The exorcist said that there were times where the demon would manifest while they were doing an exorcism. And it would manifest into what looked like a gray alien. And my mind immediately went to, well, sure, what if it manifested in that way for a reason to throw people off, to make them think
Yes.
that they were an alien? But at the same time, also, we know that the government was working with demonic entities back in the 60s and 70s to get information. And a lot of abduction stories also say that there was 3 types of beings on the craft with them. You had the grays, which were small. You had the insectoids, and then you would have humans with them also, going around and working with them.
That's the government.
But yeah,
CIA.
that's what a lot of people obviously speculate. And so tying that into what the priest is saying, and again, I have not watched or listened to the episode, but I've seen the title of it and a clip on Instagram. I mean, it's all tying together. It's all tying together, and we're taking little threads here, little threads there, and eventually we're gonna weave it all up, and we're gonna have the whole picture. So
It's going to be over.
that was way off topic from the Banshee and from the Fae.
Very, very off
But
topic.
It just kind of woven in. It just kind of went into that direction. So
Yep, it sure did.
I'm fine with it. But I'm done. The Fae is a very big and fascinating topic.
The Fae are interesting because you never know with them.
No.
Are they good? Are they bad? Are they indifferent? Do they care?
Some are good, some are bad, some are indifferent, and some do care.
Yeah, I know.
Just treat them like humans. Sometimes they're on your side, sometimes not.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you do and don't do, and I don't know, man. I listened to one podcast. I used to listen to them heavy, but it's called the Expanded Perspectives. I haven't listened to them in a while because I caught up to a lot of their episodes, and I just and they put, I think, one episode out a month, maybe two. So I've been kind of trying to let them build
Imagine
up.
if that was us still.
Yeah.
We would only now be getting out episode like 15.
Nice.
So, but they talk about the Fae a lot, and they love the Fae. That's probably one of their favorite, quote, cryptids that they talk about.
That's not even a cryptid. It's a class.
Yeah.
Cryptid.
But the Fae's fantastic. I like the gnomes. The gnomes are cool.
We have the best Fae.
I don't like the
The
black-eyed
biggest.
kids, but I don't like them because I don't like their name, because I hear black-eyed kids and they just think
Black-eyed peas.
it's a kid that's been punched in the face.
I mean, were they being bad?
No, they're just kids with solid black eyes that are creepy.
Yeah, you can't judge people on looks.
I'm going to talk about another episode about the disappearances around the national forest. That'll be fun. So I'm done.
Nice.
I'm going to retire and go to bed now. So I'm going to leave you two.
No, you can't.
talk.
You got some television to watch.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning into this episode. We will see you in the next one.
No, we won't.
Hit us with the outro, Andrew.
Then that's why I love
Ow!
Christ.
Just kidding. We're still here.
He hit me.
But before I go to bed, I've got some TV to watch
True.
and figure out some history lessons.
Anyway, Jeremy's here today to tell me about Max Headroom.
Well, okay, so
Hijacking.
to understand the story, you have to understand Max Headroom. So I assume neither of you really know.
I know who he is now that I've seen the picture.
It's been a while.
So,
I have seen this, but it's been a while.
well, Max Headroom is not exactly the hacker.
Right.
So keep that in mind, because what I'm going to be talking about is when someone hijacked a TV station to broadcast their own
Hijacked a plane and flew it into.
No.
I have seen video evidence of the Pentagon getting hit by a missile and not by a plane.
What?
Yes.
So Max Headroom Max Headroom was introduced to audiences, and this was in the 80s, the late 80s. He was introduced to audiences as something entirely new at the time. He was a television host who was not human. He was the first, quote, computer-generated TV presenter. And Max appeared on screen as a strange digital personality. You see him from half his torso up, typically. He'd be on screen and he would have weird. He was like a weird plastically looking face that kind of didn't quite move right.
It looks like a mask.
And he'd have glitchy movements, and his voice would stutter or be weird and weird audio sounds, and he'd have the pitch of his voice changing while he's talking. And he would give commentary on topical issues with being arrogant and trying to be witty, and was imitating and making fun of late night talk show hosts. The character started in the character was British, started in Britain, created by George Stone, Annabelle Jankel, and Rocky Morton, and his personality was intentional. He was supposed to be satire and an exaggeration of particularly annoying American television hosts at the time and the news. They're also just making fun of media, kind of basically the same as it is today, except this was an AI or computer generated instead of a person doing it. He was first only really going to be in a TV movie. And so he becomes a television personality who exists only within broadcast signals and computer networks, and he challenges corporations and other people who are trying to control society. But it didn't use journalism. Instead, he was sarcastic and made jokes and got people aware of events through this medium. And after the movie was successful, and people liked him specifically in the movie, he very quickly got a spin-off show, his own show called the Max Headroom Show.
Really?
And in this, he used music videos, offered commentary on topics, even had guests on his show. And all this is real. I'm not making up any of this. This is not fake. And eventually, after a couple years, they had a U.S. version, which I think was the same guy that just aired it over here. And he was so popular, he became a spokesperson for the new Coke, because this was the time period where Coke was trying their new formula called the New Coke that turns out nobody liked, so they had to go back to Coca-Cola Classic.
Right.
So he was spokesperson for that, and so had commercials making fun of Pepsi and talking about the new Coke, and with the catchphrase "Catch the wave." All right, so that's Max Headroom. So I have a video in Discord. I have 2 videos, but this is the first video. I can't play it in the podcast directly, so I'll just take a screenshot and put it up for y'all so you can at least see what he looks like and you can hear the audio. But here's a clip of one of his mini segments so y'all can kind of see what he was like. You and Andrew, Vandy.
I have seen just one video of this guy. I didn't know that he was a robot or a computer generated.
All right, are you ready?
Ugh, I don't like that.
I think it's a sad reflection on our society that whenever a new disease appears, the media automatically spread it around far faster than people ever can.
What's up with the background?
Take the epidemic that's threatening us all today. I'm talking, of course, about ads. Only a few days after the first outbreak of ads in the newspapers, we had to suffer ads in magazines, ads on the radio, and of course, the quickest way to catch ads today is simply to turn on your
TV.
Amen, brother.
Within seconds, your home will be infected by TV ads. And just look what
You've got to suffer.
Huh.
So that's Max Headroom.
So how long were these clips again?
Well, it was a full show, so he would have segments, but I don't. Most of the stuff I find are very short clips like that,
Okay.
or compilations. So I actually don't know. I never watched the show.
Do you want me to pull up the second one?
Not yet. That I'll tell you. I'm not. It won't be that much further. But that's who Max Headroom was. That's the style of videos. There was another one I saw that I almost showed where he's talking about says something along the lines of like, I've been getting a lot of letters in the mail with you guys telling me something about like you don't appreciate having a robot come up and talk to you about nonsense stuff, and then he pauses and he goes, and I don't think you should talk about the U.S. president like that.
What?
So that's pretty funny, but I thought that was a better representation. And also I love that he's complaining about ads and we're still complaining about ads.
Dude,
Everything he said is spot on.
For real.
And he called them a disease.
They are. It's even literally a million times worse than what it was back then.
He was ahead of the time.
Pretty much. Like I saw a few clips, like trying to find one to give y'all, and pretty much everything he talked about was like, this is still relevant today.
Yeah.
Like, except the Coke stuff. So in reality, Max Headroom was not actually computer generated at all. That was just his presentation and what they said.
Okay, that makes sense because for him to be computer generated and looking like that, I mean, that's pretty advanced stuff.
Yeah.
So-
No, they couldn't do that.
USA, baby.
Come on. But and the reason why the background was weird because this is the 80s. They thought, oh, this looks computer generated.
Yeah.
That's why the background's all weird. But he wasn't actually. He was played by actor Matt Frewer, who had prosthetic makeup, contact lenses, and a plastic molded suit. And then he was in front of a green screen with harsh lighting, and then they did effects to make him stuttery and mess with his voice. So he's not really really AI.
So it wasn't a hack?
No, that's just Max Headroom. That's just to understand. Technically, he has nothing to do with the hack.
That's what they all say.
Yes, they all say he has nothing to do with the hack. Okay, so Max Headroom is popular at the time. Pretty much everybody knows who he is. It's in November of 1987. It's time for the WGN TV channel number 9 to do sports. So they're reviewing the day or the week for sports. Regular stuff. I know you guys watched TV
in the 80s.
And seen, well, but I know y'all have seen like on news or on stations, they'll have, here's the sports segment, and they'll talk about sports for like 10 minutes or whatever.
And now to Larry with sports.
Yes. So that's, it's Dan Roan, but that's the segment we're in. So it's kind of prime time.
I know that name.
It's kind of prime time. It's toward the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about sports. When suddenly in the middle of his segment, the signal was disrupted and the screens cut black. And then a different transmission started going through.
Get him.
Was it a diesel transmission or a V8?
Ooh.
Neither. It
Ford or
was
Chevy.
It was the Max Headroom incident.
Whoa.
Boom.
So a pre-recorded video of someone dressed up like Max Headroom with the background imitating his background popped up and started talking. But pretty quickly, the engineers who were on site working, because it's live television, were able to kick out that transmission and put theirs back up. So it was like a few seconds, not very long, but long enough for people to see something weird happened, but not enough to... And it weirded out the hosts. They were talking about it like, I don't know what that was. Right.
So they got like,
hello.
Wow. They got the channel back.
Yes. Because the engineers were there and they immediately figured out what was happening and shut it down.
Okay.
So it lasted what, about 10 seconds?
I don't know. Not very long.
Was it from the outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not from inside. I think I will talk about that later, but I'll just go ahead and clarify. It was not coming from the inside, it was coming from the outside. 2 hours later, now it's night. It's no longer live television. Doctor Who is on.
Yes.
Apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Yep. That guy.
And during Doctor Who, it happens again. But this time, there's no one there to stop it. So the full thing gets broadcast. And it's the same people, but I think it's a different video.
Mm.
It's still pre-recorded. And maybe it was the same one. I don't know. But it's Max Headroom. Or it's not actually him, but it's someone wearing a mask of him.
Impersonating
him. So, I have another video. Again, I can't play this for the actual podcast, but you guys can hear the audio. But you guys can listen to it, and then we'll talk about it and break down what happened after. So it's going to start off.
I can't believe Doctor Who was this long ago.
There's like really bad Doctor Who. So this is Doctor Who.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Some dry
Freaking liberal.
I'm going to have to cut out the very end probably entirely because there's slight cussing. But...
Theme song to Clutch Cargo.
Yes.
You sure this wasn't Blake? Whoa.
God. Yeah, like I said, I can't.
Whoa. Brother.
And that's what happened. You can pause it now. So
Wild.
So yeah, imagine you're watching TV and that happens.
That's like it's.
I just wanted to watch the sports.
I've seen the clip, like a short clip of that. I had never
You haven't seen the full?
one.
The
No.
full?
That's pretty
Okay.
good.
So, I'm not gonna go over every tiny little detail of what happened, but basically, cuts into a guy clearly wearing a mask that I guess is supposed to be Max Headroom. To me, it doesn't look quite right, but maybe it's sunglasses. I don't know. Starts off calling somebody a nerd. Not really sure who he's talking to.
You nerd.
It looked like they just had a corrugated steel behind them on
Yeah.
a rig going back and forth, spinning.
Yeah,
Spinning
they-
head kick.
Right.
So yeah, he says that, and then he says some stuff that you can't understand what he's saying at all whatsoever. He calls Chuck Swirsky a freaking liberal, and Chuck Swirsky's like some sports commentator.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't like his
He was
taste.
Chicago Bull, and I'm upset because I definitely put notes in here better than this, and I don't know what happened to my explanation. So I'm trying to scroll to see if I put it further down, and there's not here. So,
USA, baby.
but he calls him a liberal. The background is a cheap piece of corrugated metal that's just spinning
Yeah.
to imitate that's what you were saying. That's all it was.
Yeah.
He says "catch the wave," referring to the Coke thing, and throws a can of soda at the screen. Obviously, like I said earlier, because that's what he was known for. And then he starts humming the theme to an old late 50s, early 60s cartoon called Clutch Cargo, which I'd never even heard of before.
Nope.
Never heard of it.
And so I actually looked it up to see what he was referring to, because he says, "I still see the X." I'm like, I don't understand what this
Yeah.
means.
What does that mean?
So
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
Clutch Cargo.
What do you mean?
Clutch Cargo was like a very horrible cartoon. All the cartoons in this time period were horrible. They did space stuff. They're flying, but like cartoons nowadays and stuff like the Annoying Orange or whatever. But like the mouth is human
I love
mouth.
how you say annoying nowadays.
Wow.
Annoying orange. That was 2012, brother.
Yes, but that's the most
That's
recent thing
sad.
I can think of
Yeah.
that has that.
Man, I used to watch that guy all the time.
But so like their mouth movements are mouths. They're not actually cartoons. They don't
Yeah.
animate the mouth. Clutch Cargo was one of those shows that had that,
That's terrible.
and it didn't look good. I watched some of it to see it looks horrible. And kids who grew up watching this show would all say that they didn't like it and that the mouse creeped them out because it just was unappealing and was unsettling, and they didn't like it. So like that's the main thing anyone watching this show remembered about it. Well, production wise, the animators had to use guide marks to position where the mouth was for the overlay so they'd have it in the right spot on the face. And typically the guide mark was an X. So when he says, "I still see the X," what he's basically, because he's singing the theme song to this cartoon.
Yeah.
And he said, "I still see the X." It's basically him saying, "I still see that stupid mouth in my head. I hate it."
This guy's a schizo.
Yeah.
Like basically he's just like, "I hate that's what he's doing." He's like referencing those annoying mouths.
So is he saying that he's got voices in his head, or
No. He's just saying
he's
like
just referencing that little
around me
He's
are
just-
familiar
he's just trying to say-
faces.
in a sort of coded way of like, despite it being 20 years later, I still see those stupid mouths.
Okay.
But in a coded way, not directly. So instead of saying I still see the mouse, he's like, "I still see the X."
Yeah.
The X referring to the marker where
And
the
if you
mouse
know,
would be.
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
There's not 100% confirmation on that, and other people were saying it's like referencing the end of the episode or referencing something else. But like after I dug into it, I'm pretty sure it's one of those.
I am trying to pull up and watch a video, but every video I'm looking up
Of what?
on YouTube of Clutch Cargo, it's saying video unavailable. So I'm going through Google, so I'm just going to go right through YouTube.
I found it pretty easily. Here, Vandy, put this up. I was going to say I'll put this in the Discord. Put this up on the screen. There's no way we're watching the whole thing. It's 20 minutes, but...
Oh, we're here for the long
No,
haul.
no, we're not. See, look how horrible that looks.
Yeah, that's one I just clicked on. Oh, that's
Clutch
terrible.
Cargo and his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot in another exciting adventure, The Friendly Headhunter.
Friendly.
Right.
What happened? Somebody
There's like
murdered?
no
Got
movement.
the whole
It's just
police
There's
force
just...
here.
What are they giving away?
They're doing the best they can.
There's drawing images.
this
and-
was like
It's like when
The
anime
cheapest budget.
does the zoom in and they're talking in their head the whole time.
yeah. No, this is like the cheapest budget possible for a cartoon.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I hate that.
This was before they had ads.
Burn it with fire.
So anyway, after he makes the reference to all that, he says, I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper news, WGN. Like the world's greatest newspaper is what WGN. So he's saying,
Yeah.
making fun of WGN and being able to hack in. It's like, haha. And then he does some other stuff I'm not even going to get into what he
Yeah.
did. But basically, most of the time he's just mocking the television station and people.
Hmm.
And then it cuts out and goes right back to Doctor Who.
It's just a big troll.
So this
Trollolo.
part makes me laugh just when I think about what the guy actually said. But like they obviously have to talk about it in the news, and they're talking about it
Yeah.
before they know anything. And so they're having an interview with this one guy, and who they're like, he might have an idea of how it was done, and this is what the guy says when he's giving a general idea on how it was done. He said, someone wants to get into your house, they can find a way to do that. And I guess likewise, if someone wants to interfere with your signal, they can find a way to do that. So basically what he says is, we think that they found out how to do it by finding a way to do it.
Yeah.
This is basically what he said. It's like, thank you.
Makes sense. That's a great explanation.
USA, baby.
So people, and it would be the case if it happened now, most people just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
They were just like, whatever. But the government and the stations obviously were not thrilled.
Yeah,
Because one, it's a security thing.
Yeah.
Two, copycats could broadcast
Yeah.
bad things, and I mean, he already showed what he showed and did. So like, they're not. So they're trying to find him. FBI joins in, and they start threatening, saying that that's $100,000 penalty or a year in jail or both. At the time, broadcast signal intrusions were considered rare because it would take a lot to do that. It had to be somebody who knows what they're doing. You could not just anybody could.
Yeah, he had
It
to
would-
work in the industry or something.
You would
Yeah.
not only would you have to know how to do it, but
You
you'd
had
have
to
to
have
have the
the-
equipment to
Right.
do it, and you'd have to know where to set up the equipment, because basically they set up whatever their signal was, sending their signal outside of the station, but it had to be at the right distance at the right spot, and then they would shoot the signal at the receiving signal that the station was sending to, and it would have to be like a certain way to block out one and do that. So
I wonder if it went to everybody that was on that station.
Well, yeah, that's how that works.
yes, yeah, everyone who was watching saw that.
Okay. So it wasn't, well, it was antenna back then, so like if the normal TV broadcast had a longer range, or I wonder if it was just like one specific area. But anyway, go ahead.
Pretty much, though, this was already a copycat, not of the content, but a year earlier, HBO had someone do something similar with theirs. So there's a good chance either this was them testing it, or they were working with the other person, or at the very least, they saw someone else do it and said, "Hey, I can do this too."
Yeah, you go through all of that and you call someone else a nerd.
The person who did the other thing with HBO probably wasn't the same person, because I forgot about this detail. The person who did that sent a signal to bring awareness to what HBO was doing, because HBO, according to him, McDougal, the person who, again, this is the first incident in HBO that had happened.
What a name.
McDougal had said that HBO was gouging satellite customers to get them to switch to cable. And he didn't like that and was trying to get him to stop. The government wouldn't stop him. No regulation was happening, so he did what he did to interfere. Mm-hmm. And he was right. That's what HBO was doing.
Is cable pretty much dead now?
Yes.
Good.
I saw one guy, he was trying to get people to go back to satellite.
Really?
Yeah, because he was like, y'all are spending so much money on all these platforms,
subscriptions
and subscriptions.
Yeah.
He said, meanwhile, I've got my no, he didn't even have satellite. He had an antenna.
Yeah.
That's what he bought.
You had
an antenna.
The digital antennas?
Yeah, that he hooked up. And he's like, I'm over here watching the game for free for $13, one-time purchase for $13.
Good for him.
The streaming services and all that stuff, it could be
They're
something
getting too much.
That brings life back to cable.
Well, I was saying that several weeks ago, and y'all were saying,
and I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
I
do disagree with you.
Do you guys remember?
You just said that it was going to bring it back.
No, I didn't. I said it might be me, and I was going to say if cable manages to come back.
Yeah.
I said I don't think so. Not that it's impossible, and that's still my stance. I don't think it's likely, but if it does come back, it will be because of the streaming services.
I think it will come back.
Do you guys remember the first subscription you guys ever signed up for?
Yes.
What was it?
Shoeboxes.
What?
No. First subscription I ever signed up for was for a magazine subscription when I was like 14 or 13 for gaming magazine.
I think
for a year, and then I lost it.
I remember my parents, not me specifically, but I remember my parents getting Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
With the DVD in the mail.
Yeah, the DVD in the mail. Do they still do that?
No.
My parents were so against Netflix.
Well, I'm against Netflix now.
Why were they?
Because they were ahead of the game.
What was their actual reason?
I don't know. We had one preacher come into the church one time. We didn't know him, and we never had him back after. He preached against Pokemon. All my cards gone.
Nice.
I could be a millionaire now.
My sister and I had a similar kind of thing. Not with Pokemon specifically, but
yeah, with the same vein.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go off on a tangent for a second, but I'm not a huge fan of especially not pastors, but the evangelists or the traveling people who just go and scream and say, you can't have these things. It's like, even if sometimes I understand where they're coming from, it's kind of like, stop.
Like, this is the problem I have with a lot of that stuff is you can make anything look bad if you give enough time to paint the perspective of it. Like if I say this water bottle, there's nothing wrong with it. But then if I come and say this water bottle is bad because da 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 da, and then I go into everything else, me having the water bottle is not hurting anybody. But, since, turtles are dying and all this stuff, automatically I'm going to hell. You can't make that argument. But people used to get up and make that type of argument about Pokemon and stuff.
And, I mean, pastors can do it too, and some do. But at the very least, there actually is an authority there. So if you're listening to them, it's either because you're respecting the authority or whatever. Yeah. And even if you don't, I don't agree that you should be. But when you don't even have any authority, but you go and say this stuff, and then people are like, "Oh, I got to do this." It's like,
yeah, it's like the thing with beards. If you have a beard, you ain't getting into heaven. Period.
True.
as all three of us sit
They're
here with
unholy.
beards.
They're unholy. You can't get on the platform. You can't be in the ministry.
Oof.
But I
Well, according to evangelist Ted Cruz,
true. Anything
Saying-
he says.
Nice.
saying Christ is king is anti-Semitic.
True.
He's saying it's hateful, racist, anti-Semitic.
Yeah, you
Rhetoric.
know why? Because the anti-Semitic Candace Owens, I forgot her name as I was saying it,
Owens.
and then it came back to me. She said it, so you can't say it.
Yeah.
I think we need to go back to calling people nerds.
I mean, they did in the 80s.
And then
Anyway, I just to wrap it up because I was literally at the end anyway. They never found who did this. They never figured out exactly how they did it or where they did it. There's theories. Most of them are garbage. The most likely is it was probably somebody who used to work there,
Yeah.
Who
Knew
had
the broadcast
who
signal
got
and all that.
fired or
Yeah.
left on bad terms. It's like it makes the most sense, but they never found them.
And
Well-
who hated nerds.
I don't know how it is with cable or satellite, whatever, but with radio, you can. A lot of people.
Also, real fast,
I
sorry,
love saying that phrase. A lot of people.
don't get it in your head. You can do this now because signals are now encrypted, so
Yeah,
you
it's
can't do it
wild.
now.
But with radio, handheld radios, CB radios, whatever,
Ham radios.
ham radios, yeah,
Chicken radios.
you could just have your regular walkie-talkies, right? I mean, that's what everybody has.
Yeah.
But if you want to start getting to where you can hear certain frequencies and listening to police conversations back and forth on the radios and so on and so forth, if you want to talk to somebody across state lines or across the country, you have to get a certain license, special license in order to
Really?
do that. And once you get that equipment, the government, I don't know if it's state or federal, but they have to, I imagine it'd be federal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably federal.
They have to come into your home, check your equipment, and which I hate because if they look around your home and then they see something,
Oh, drugs. They arrest him.
yeah, if they see a prescription medicine on the counter or whatever, then that can give them legal warrant to get that can give them legal way to get a warrant to come in there and do whatever else they want. But not only do they have to look at it whenever you get the equipment and whenever you get licensed, they can stop by at any time of day, at any time, at any day of the year. 24/7 they can stop in to check that equipment.
That's crazy.
Good for them.
Yeah. And
Let's just go with CB radios.
a lot of people don't do that. When I say people, I mean the federal government. A lot of them don't come in just at random times. But every so often, you will have somebody come in and check your equipment.
Is that just for ham radio?
No. I looked into it a little bit because I started getting into radios and just
The only reason I would actually say that makes sense or I would be somewhat okay with that are the devices that can tune into police radios, like you said.
correct.
But I get the reason why there needs to be some sort of security there because you don't want anyone at any time just listening to police
Yeah,
radios.
because there are sensitive conversations in there and so on and so forth. And you can mess up somebody's
trial. You could ruin a trial because you
Yeah.
did something and now this evidence can't be used and it was like the evidence.
Or if you're messing up on the radio, you can literally kill somebody
Oh, yeah,
because you're
Yeah.
messing everybody else's conversations and flooding it and confusing people.
Yep.
So
So don't go out
I
and
mean,
do
I
that,
get
kids.
it. I get it. I understand it. But I say all that because this guy obviously had the equipment inside his home or wherever he was to be able to broadcast that. So I don't know if there was a law pertaining to any of that equipment.
Yeah, well, to the equipment itself, who knows?
Yeah.
But there's a law against doing it.
Yeah. That's true.
There was a
Yeah.
law against doing
They
it. so-
literally pay for those frequencies.
Yeah.
They never found it, and the guy never came forward. No one, like you would think that this would be the kind of person who liked the attention and would come forward just to be like, I did it, it was me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. If I was the person that was hitting him, I'd be like, bro, you got to do whatever I say now.
I know exactly what it was. Demons.
True.
Demons.
It was actually the real Max Headroom who really was in the computer networks.
It was like Five Nights at Freddy's. It was an
And
animatronic.
the reason why it never happened again is because they did figure it out was him and they deleted it.
Ooh, busted.
That's right. But I believe it was demons. Not
Anyway,
just any demons, but demons being exorcised.
the moral of the story is don't play Pokemon. It teaches you evolution's real. Don't watch TV because it's sin. Don't watch movies. If you need to read a magazine, read the 10 Commandments.
Yes.
Clean your room.
Sprinkle some holy water in there while you're at it.
Speaking of holy water, you got some tinfoil test? Tinfoil or true? You did this to me. Tinfoil or true?
I was trying to,
You did this to me!
trying to fix my mic and I can't get it to work
It's all your fault!
It was all you.
the whole time. The whole time.
We got some tinfoil or truth.
I do. All right, guys. You know what time it is.
No, don't.
It's almost 7.
6:51.
6:51. Right now, I give you 2 headlines. You guys tell me which one is real and which one is fake. And which
Israel.
one is...
You're never safe.
Ditto. Oh, I can't say ditto because that was a Pokemon.
Can't be a ditto.
Ditto.
Ditto's a Pokemon.
Ditto?
Ditto.
All right,
Ditto.
I give you 2 headlines. You choose which one's real, which one's tinfoil, and then I tell you you're wrong.
Can't say choose because I choose you, Pikachu.
Oh, no.
Can't use Google Maps because of Pokemon Go.
All right, here we go.
Can't find the same car. You can't look.
Headline number 1 is in 1934, the French Academy of Sciences officially banned winter laughter in Paris after a study claimed it increased frostbite by 17%. Stop laughing.
It increases joy by...
The next headline is in Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, a.k.a. Blood Falls, is an iron-rich hypersaline brine that seeps from Taylor Glacier, first reported in 1911 by Thomas Griffith.
Tinfoil true.
Tinfoil true.
You guys are right.
I've seen videos of that.
They can't
It's actually
ban...
really interesting.
They can't ban laughing in winter. You can't do it.
You can.
I don't know. Maybe North Korea did something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You can do it if it's punishable by death.
They didn't ban it. They just said we'll kill you for it. There's a difference.
Next.
In Death Valley National Park, researchers use a weather station to track sailing stones moving across the racetrack playa.
Plasmoids.
Yes.
Or
Plasmoids.
in 1966, marine biologists confirmed octopi navigate using the Earth's magnetic field by using compass crystals within their eyes.
True tinfoil. What say you?
Tinfoil true.
You're wrong.
Tinfoil true. He's right.
I said, what?
The octopi do that.
Hold up. Repeat the first one.
Eh?
Repeat the first one.
That was the floating stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use a time-lapse camera in Death Valley National Park.
Yeah, so I was right.
No.
Yeah, I said true
I
tinfoil.
said in a weather station.
Yeah, true tinfoil.
I don't use a weather station. Weather boy.
Whatever.
I just know the octopi thing was true. So
That's a half truth what you just said.
No, that's just not true.
That's a half truth.
If I tell you half true and half lie, it's just not true.
Exactly. You're giving me enough information to deceive me.
he has to.
That's
You're
the
too
point of the
good
game.
otherwise.
Shameful. I reject modernity and accept my own.
This one I think you guys will like. In 2012, researchers discovered venomous koalas whose bites contain a sedative that can knock predators unconscious.
True.
Second one is a male platypus has a venom gland connected to the spurs on their hind ankles. Venom production rises in the breeding season and can cause severe pain in humans.
Tinfoil true.
Well, now I got to rehear the first one because the second one's pretty sure is true, but I'm pretty sure the first one's true.
In 2012, researchers discovered venomous koalas whose bite contains a sedative that can knock predators unconscious in 90 seconds.
I'm going to say tinfoil true, but there is something to do with koalas that can bite you and do stuff. So,
Chlamydia.
not chlamydia.
It is. It
no,
is.
yes, but not just chlamydia.
You guys are right. But the koala thing, that's fascinating because the bacteria that they have in their mouths basically acts like venom.
Yeah. That's why.
It's the same.
See, that I coasted through listening to it, was thinking of that. I was like, okay, that's true. But then the other one was true. So I was like, you're half lying again. So I need to hear it.
It's the same with the Komodo dragon.
Yeah. If you have two platypus, are they platypi?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about that though. The Komodo dragon. I am derailing this conversation.
Why are we thinking about Komodo dragons?
The Komodo dragon because
because they breathe fire.
Yes, the Komodo dragon's bite has so much bacteria in it.
Yeah.
That it will kill their prey. For example, they often walk up to a water buffalo slowly, and the water buffalo doesn't care.
Yeah, because it thinks it's so much bigger.
Yeah, and so it eventually gets up to where it lunges out and bites its ankle. That one Komodo dragon stalks that water buffalo for days. And when I say days, I mean up to almost 2 weeks. And then eventually that thing becomes so weak that specific Komodo dragon, along with several others, pounce on it and kill it and eat it alive.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That stuff. Last one for you fellas. In 1961, at an Antarctic station, Soviet doctor Leonid
Hey, take
Rogozov.
ask me. I know how to say it.
How do you say this? It's literally Leonid. Is it Leonid or Leonid? Leonid Rogozov performed.
Hey, ask me how to say it.
This is okay. It's appendectomy.
Appendicitis is how it's actually.
He performed that surgery on himself using local anesthetic and a mirror when evacuation was impossible.
Please tell me you know I'm joking, right?
No, that's what it is.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had appendicitis and he had to do that surgery.
Yeah.
Appendectomy.
Appendectomy.
Dude, we sound like a bunch of stupid people. I won't say the word. Or, in 2009, surgeons kept a patient alive for 48 hours after replacing their blood with clear oxygen gel, making them temporarily inhuman.
Tinfoil true.
They're going to say invisible.
Invisible.
Where'd he go?
He kept him alive for 48 hours by making him invisible.
What? No, it's invincible. Invincible. Oh, off of Incredibles. Whatever.
I
don't know. Okay, so what is it? What is it, Jeremy?
You know what?
I said tinfoil.
I'm not
true.
going to tell you now.
I'm gonna say tinfoil true because I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. Because if I say the same thing as you, I win.
The appendicitis guy really did.
I was thinking it was true tinfoil, but I'm like, there's no point taking that risk because
you don't want to lose.
Because I don't want to.
I really wish that it was tinfoil true because that would have been sick.
No, I was pretty sure it was true tinfoil, but again, I just wanted to make sure I locked that win.
I gotta go.
Because it's rare that I win, because I'm not as good as you, because you know all the facts. You know Leonide.
I don't know.
I was joking by that. I don't know what the name. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Oh,
Leonide.
man. It was spelled Leonide.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I was
lemonade.
hoping y'all would catch on because I can't read or spell.
No, I know.
No, we trust you, bro.
I understood the joke. That's
Okay.
why
he
I was joking back.
Okay, I want to talk about exorcisms.
Well, too
All right.
bad. It's Vandy's turn to talk.
How many of you have seen Exorcisms?
Define exorcism.
Casting
Define
a
scene.
spirit or a demon out of someone.
Yes.
C.
Okay, then all three of us have.
Not in the Catholic sense,
Yeah,
though.
not in the Catholic sense.
Like in
This
the
is a-
Protestant sense.
and not
Yes.
in the movies.
This is
Yeah.
a question I do have for both of you. Why is it always in the movies they call for the Catholic priest?
Well, because Catholicism is very popular within the U.S. still.
I think it's just because they
And-
have the cool little
In the
Dress.
movies,
jacket thing.
it's because in the movies, in pop culture, the Catholic version of exorcism is well known.
Yes.
The version that we know is true and
Yeah,
real.
the burning them at the stake part.
Grabbing a stake and stabbing them in the heart and then burning them doesn't play well. The grabbing snakes doesn't play well. So they use the Catholic. No, it's because that's what's in the brain of the culture is the Catholic. So
It's
no
so
one would really understand if it was literally just a normal looking dude in normal clothes. It's just like, I'm gonna go put my hands on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord.
So this is in 1949 in Maryland. There's a young boy who, to this day,
Isn't young anymore.
No, he's not. He is gone for sure. But
Where'd he go?
Scientists, priests, especially Catholic priests, and even the government for a while studied the case like crazy because by all accounts, this is considered like irrefutable evidence that this is spiritual. So like we talked about earlier, we already know the CIA was doing some nefarious things with, spirits and trying to summon and all that. So it's been studied, and even in the Catholic churches today, it's a case that is studied by the priests, talked about, discussed, and so on and so forth. But in 1949, this kid, he goes home, and it's just a regular.
Don't mind me.
It's just a regular day for this kid. His name is Robbie. It's the name that everybody has.
Was it short for Robert?
No. But this is a real kid, real family, real documented results by not only law enforcement, but also the churches and universities.
Bet.
So, like, it's all on the up and up. This kid, he had an aunt who was, like, very big into spiritualism, always looking into voodoo stuff, palm reading, that sort of spiritual stuff. And she also introduced this boy to a Ouija board.
Oh no.
Have y'all ever seen one in real life?
I've seen them on the store shelf.
Have y'all ever bought one?
Nope.
No.
Dude.
We
I
had
stole it.
we had this guy in our church, and in Barnes and Noble, they used to sell Ouija boards. He bought like 10 of them
Why?
because he didn't want anybody else to have them.
No, so he
I
bought
knew a guy that did that with. I was on the job and we had a bunch of wine bottles, and we were told it was a serving job, and we were told to dump out all the ones that were opened. And so he just started popping the cork off of unopened bottles of wine,
Yeah.
and just pouring them down the drain.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm preventing people from getting drunk."
Wow.
And he's just pouring it down the drain. I said, no.
It's already paid for. They're gonna make more.
You're not. You're just getting the sewer gators drunk.
Give me those
I
back.
almost said swamp gators. Sewer gators.
I was so mad at the guy because
Because you wanted to drink it.
yes, no,
Communion.
I was like, that makes
True.
no sense, dude. It's like this stupid.
So the aunt introduces this kid to all this stuff. The family thinks it's like, oh, it's whatever. She just does her thing because, you know, she tries the spiritualism.
She's the weird one.
Yeah, and nothing ever happens to her, so whatever.
Crazy cat lady, probably.
She ends up passing away, and then shortly after she passes away,
In her will, she says, "My demons go to."
No.
Says that.
So she passes away, and a short time after, the kid wakes up in the middle of the night and he hears scratching on the walls. And so what does he do? He goes to his parents' room and he's like, there's something in the wall. Maybe it's a mice or something, whatever. And they're like, okay, go back to sleep. We'll check it out in the morning. He goes back to sleep. He can't sleep all night. He still hears scratching. Then after a little while, it gets worse, where he's like, no, there's something scratching and I can't figure it out. So the parents say, we're going to get a pest control person out here.
Bet.
They do. When they do that, the guy goes around, he sprays, he does all his stuff. It doesn't go away. Then one night he wakes up and he goes to his parents' room and he says, hey, something's scratching under the floors now. So they're like, okay, it must be something with the pipes. Don't know why they went to that, but they got a plumber. Plumber came out. He was like, everything looks good. Nothing's clogged. Nothing's rattling. Nothing's doing
Pipes aren't scratching your floor. Sorry.
And then he says one night that his mattress began to vibrate and shake really bad.
Been there.
Obviously, he runs out of his room, and when he gets to his parents' room, he's like, my bed is moving on its own. They're like, okay, now you're just messing with us. You're going above and beyond, just doing too much. They go in. All the furniture in the room is rearranged. Like, no way this kid could move his dresser, the bed.
I've been there before.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have, bro.
I have the vibrating mattress. You have the furniture moving.
Yep.
Together, we're both possessed.
So the parents are like, okay, this is not normal. Either you did this or something really bad is happening. After that, the whole family begins to notice the same stuff. Weird scratching at night. It's always at night. Hearing things creak that shouldn't be creaking. They hear faucets running that shouldn't be running. They come home from outings and furniture is rearranged, and they're like, okay, what is going on? One of the weird ones was they said that they heard thunder and they thought a storm was happening. So they go outside to check it at night, and there's no thunder. There's nothing going on. But the neighbors said, yeah, we thought something dropped in your house, like heavy, because it sounded like a big rumble. So that's another thing that happened.
Odd.
The parents thought they were all going crazy, so they consulted with psychiatric professionals. They also went to a reverend in the Lutheran church. Don't know why. Maybe that's just where they went to church. His name was Miles Scholes, who he himself observed a bunch of unusual behavior when he went over to the house. He told them, and this is what gets me. He's a Lutheran pastor, right? He says, go get the Catholic Church.
Wow.
See, I don't want no part of this.
If anything tells me I'm not going to trust them for my soul is when he says, no, go get the Catholics.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we'll go to the Catholics. They end up going to the Catholic priest, who was a man named Father Albert Hughes. And he decides that this is clearly a demon that is in the house. He goes into the house. They tell him, okay, it started in our son's room. He goes into the room with the boy, and before his very eyes and his, I don't know what they call him in the Catholic faith, the assistant pastor, you know,
Okay.
how
His shadow.
yeah, his apprentice or whatever in training. They both see that the kid is sitting on his bed and literal marks begin to appear on him as if he has been scratched or whipped. So they're like, we need to do an exorcism because clearly a demon is in here. We need to cast it out of the house. And if it's on anybody, we need to cast it out of them. So they go ahead, they start getting everything ready. And as the kid is laying on the bed, the box spring of the bed just shatters in the bed.
Like all the springs just go out.
No, like, you know how you have a box spring, which is basically a wooden,
Yeah. The wood around there shatters.
yeah, it just like breaks
Okay.
as if something really heavy was sitting on it.
Was the
And-
kid fat?
No.
Sorry.
Yes.
They did exorcist after exorcist, and it did nothing but make the kid go into like this,
Exorcism after exorcism.
yeah, exorcism after exorcism. The kid's health starts to deteriorate, and for some reason, they kept staying in the house. I wouldn't stay in that house if that was happening, and I wouldn't tell the kid to stay in his room.
Well, if it's in today's market,
It wasn't. This was back when houses were like 50 cents.
well, yeah, I know.
This
I
is
don't-
when
I
you,
don't- this is
this
right
is
after
when you
the
could own a
war.
house and be homeless.
In the 40s, right?
Yeah.
1940, what was it? 1940?
49.
49.
The 49ers.
Yeah.
So things get really, really bad. The kid's health deteriorates. In March of 1949, the mother and the boy decide that they got to get out of the house.
I gotta go.
I got to go.
The father. I gotta stay.
I got to stay. So they decide to travel to St. Louis and stay with relatives. This is where St. Louis University comes into the picture, because there is a ton of writing out there in the St. Louis University about this case, because they literally studied the kid, trying to figure out, you know, how you have academics and scientists saying, no, this is, we can all explain it by science. Obviously not.
It's electromagnetism coursing through him.
So they called a Jesuit priest.
Not Catholic.
Catholic didn't work, obviously.
Lutheran ain't gonna work.
He didn't even try. He is like,
Not-
oh, good, guys. His name was Raymond Bishop. Great name for a preacher. And his colleague, Father William Bodern. On March 16th, they get permission. I don't know why, but they get permission from the Roman Catholic Church to perform an exorcism. I don't know why they needed permission.
Because once the Catholics try, they own that demon. So
Oh, okay. So they literally have printed documentation of it at the university, saying like they got it in writing that they could do this. This is where things get a little bit worse. They try to do exorcisms for days
Golly.
on this kid, because the kid is physically deteriorating really bad. Like, he's starting to get gray hair, and he's like 8 or 9. It's bad.
So was the kid himself possessed?
That's the conclusion that they came to.
Or was it the demon oppressing?
I think the kid got possessed at some point, because the kid starts telling the preachers what they have done in their whole life before
Okay. Well, yeah.
he could even be born. I mean, he don't even know these people. Like, he's telling them every sin that they've done, all the things that they're going to go through in hell, and all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. They do this for literally days, and nothing is getting better. And according to the two priests, they saw the kid physically levitate off of a bed while he was being restrained and nearly pick the bed up.
While he picking the bed up.
Like he was
while
tied
he
to
was
the bed.
levitating. Yeah.
Yeah. They brought in stuff like holy objects, holy water, crosses, relics, different things. And the kid would speak in Latin, he would speak in Greek, and he would speak in Hebrew.
Yeah.
And just all kinds of craziness.
What'd he say?
Like, he was telling them what they had done in
Hebrew?
their life. Yeah. Like in different languages that the kid would never know.
How'd they know what he was saying?
I guess they had somebody translate afterwards, or they wrote it down. But night after night, this goes to the point where they're like, okay, obviously our rituals aren't doing anything. So they try this thing called a Roman ritual, which is literally basically laying a cross on the kid.
Literally get him and nail him to a cross,
Like, they laid it on the kid,
hang him there for 3 days.
and they
then-
said that the wood deteriorated.
Oof.
I was like, oh, okay.
Gotta use better wood.
Got to use some ironwood.
So the final breaking point of it all was on April 18th, 1949, the day after Easter.
Wow. They didn't try on Easter?
Yeah, they did. They did exorcisms from March to April,
Nice.
like every single day. After Easter, the apparent end of the possession happened, and the boy repeatedly said, "He's gone. He's gone. Like, he's out of me."
Yeah.
And from that point on, the kid started getting better in his health. And the bishop wrote down that he checked in on the boy, and there had been no further indications of the devil's presence after 11 p.m. on that night. And he continued to check up on him for years after that. So, by all accounts, this was one of the most closely documented cases of possession that is still used in courts today for why people do certain things. You can technically argue that you are possessed, or your lawyer can. But it started a whole stir more in recent times.
What if you're in court and they say you're possessed and they're like, prove it, and then you just start floating?
he possessed. Lock him up.
Enough said.
Case closed.
Your Honor.
You can go.
or I say prove it, and they just start saying like, you had an affair last Tuesday.
Oh. What did he say?
That'd be so funny though.
And it'd be like, the judge is like, no, I didn't. And he's like, yeah, you did. It's just back and forth, and just like,
Yeah.
prove it. It just goes through this circle over and over again.
So that was the end of his story. But in more recent times, everybody knows this movie, The Exorcist. That movie is based on that kid.
You know, I was gonna say that, but in the movie, it's a girl.
Yeah, it's very loosely based.
Trans.
Shut up.
Everything's woke these days.
But it is wild how much Hollywood fantasizes over that stuff.
I think the reason why they used a girl is because visually
Yeah.
it's more unsettling to see a little girl than
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more unsettling to see a child. It's more unsettling to see a girl.
Yeah. This is the part that I don't understand is, I don't know. No, screw it. I'm going to say it.
Do you want me to cut it out potentially?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe a lot of people have the full truth with Scripture. But why and how could they have power over the demons unless it's just using the name of Christ, of Jesus?
Yeah, you yourself don't have any power.
Well, yeah.
Because, for example,
I don't know. Jesus does say, I'll give you power.
yeah, but for example,
That power is not your power.
the
You're acting in it.
the three men that were going around preaching in
Skiva.
yeah, and they came across a possessed man, or was it a woman? They came across a possessed person, and that person, the demon manifested and beat the men to a pulp.
Well, that's
and stripped them naked, and they ran out of there naked.
the point he's making.
Yeah.
But flip side, the disciples said, "Hey, there's guys over there that are casting out demons and stuff in your name." And Jesus is like, "Okay, that's
Let
cool.
them
Yeah.
be.
That's cool."
Yeah, let them be.
I don't know. It's just weird.
My question in regard to that is like, holy water's bogus.
Clearly, yes.
But so
That's why it didn't work.
so like that's the part where it's like they're not relying on the correct thing. So how do they?
That's probably why it took so long. I mean,
Well, also, Jesus says this demon does not come out by prayer
Prayer and
alone,
fasting.
but prayer and fasting.
yeah. I guess certain demons require certain methods because obviously that scripture basically says, yeah, some of them come out by prayer. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
But I think that kid is probably or was scarred for life after dealing with all that.
Yeah, I don't.
That's one thing that I hate is to see a kid deal with that stuff because most times they didn't have anything to really do with it. If it was an adult, they probably knew what they were doing.
Or maybe they didn't know, but they still
Yeah.
entertained the things and let it in.
Yeah, it's like a kid is so helpless. And it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know all the technical biblical reasons why a child would be possessed. I don't know. Some would. There might be an argument based off of the sins of the father, right?
Right. I
Well,
think there's generational possession.
I don't think it has anything to do with that necessarily. Because, like, I don't know. I want to keep this in or cut it because, like, it's real talk, but it's also, like, I don't know. But when stuff happens in church and there's someone who's demon possessed or sometimes not even possessed, but oppressed, and so church is praying for them, very often they would say kids go to the back. And I don't know, I'm sure you remember growing up, you and Victoria would have to go to the back when stuff like that was happening. And the whole point was like, we don't want them around because when the spirit leaves, it goes somewhere. So I think most likely with this kid, it's like you've been around your aunt who clearly has been into these things. And I'm not saying she was possessed and when she died, she was no longer possessed. And so it kept moved to him. It could have moved to him before she died.
Right.
But being around her, who had all this influence around her, being exposed to it, it just latched on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of the other things that I want you guys, or I guess we can all do this, but you said demon possessed and oppressed. I think for people listening, we should clear that up as to what those are. Obviously, possession is like you're being hijacked, like Max Headroom.
Yeah, that's when you're talking and like saying stuff you have no reason to know, you shouldn't know. The voice changes or you speak in
A lot
other,
of accounts is that the person gains unnatural strength.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have unnatural strength.
Yeah.
Like there was a case when I was a kid in not before we moved here, before we were going to church here. So I was really little, but there is this kid, probably 4 or 5 years old, who was. There's no way the dude wasn't demon possessed.
Yeah.
When he had his fits, 5 grown men could not keep him down.
Yeah.
He was fighting them off and winning handily.
Yeah. I think
So
demon oppression is where you're basically having to face it down a demon, or
Or-
it's doing things to
And
bring
it's-
you down.
It's influencing your decisions, not
Right.
necessarily as telling you what to do, but kind of steering you in certain ways.
Outside in.
And yeah,
and you can be kind of paralyzed, sometimes in an actual, real physical sense, paralyzed, or you could be like unable
night
to
terror.
move
sleep
past,
paralysis.
right? Like you're stuck.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you'll be constantly every night or regularly,
Facing down things.
but it can when you're oppressed, it can have physical symptoms such as being paralyzed, but usually it's
And that's another reason why.
but it's things happening to you, not you doing things.
Right.
Yeah. That's another reason why a lot of there are some biblical accounts of Jesus exorcising demons, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
from kids that had ailments, and they were sick and they did have diseases, but obviously that doesn't mean that every disease that somebody has means that they're possessed.
Right.
It was just in those certain cases that the demon itself was deteriorating the body and causing it to
Right.
be sick and diseased. So
It's a very deep subject.
yeah, we could have a whole podcast on this.
Yeah.
Maybe
we should.
I'm sure we each have our own things we've
Yeah. Experiences.
seen or experienced.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking when I said been there with the shaking mattress, by the way. Like I was joking because
Yeah.
the timing was good, but not fun.
Yeah, not fun.
We'll have to do a deep dive on that stuff
Possibly.
of just experiences
Maybe. I don't know.
tonight.
No,
Tomorrow.
we got stuff to do. Which, by the way, Vandy and Andrew are both gonna be busy.
So we need guests
So
for Jeremy.
definitely we won't be recording for 2 weeks.
No.
I'm not sure if we're far enough ahead to have an episode for the entire time. If we are, then for you guys, next episode we'll be back. It won't feel like anything,
Yeah.
but there could be a possible week with no episode.
Yeah. Andrew, we need to end this thing on a good note here, my friend. You got any quote of the days or any hot takes or anything else?
Believe in Christ.
I have a good quote.
Go.
Go ahead.
The United States can be summed up in this one word.
In international pressure.
True international pressure.
You just get a 12 gauge shotgun. That's all you need.
Get a shotgun.
Double barrel.
Double barrel shotgun.
Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in again. Once again, I'm Vandy. That's Andrew. That's Jeremy. He is the author and finisher of the podcast. Thank you, guys. False.
Peace.